Giants.
Let's make lemonade. Okay, let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go!
Fence!
It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
If you're listening to the Rush Radio Show right now, you know that you're making a smart decision, and that includes where you buy your car. Willis Automotive is your go-to place for quality vehicles and even better service. New ride, used ride, familiar hauler, or something fun. Find it at willisauto.com. The Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream this morning at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and of course, follow us on our social media channels. Good morning, Ross Peterson. What's going on, buddy?
Top of the morning to you, my friend. Happy Thursday.
You're going with the Don Mattingly mug today.
Got my classic Don Mattingly mug. It looks like one of those commemorative plates.
It does. It's like if you order Sports Illustrated now for just 52 weeks at $39.99.
That very well could be how this. I've got the leather embossed, Yankee fans. Your team just won the World Series. Call now for your leather embossed edition. But
did you have the football phone?
You never had the football phone. The one I always wanted, man, was like Remember they used to do the jackets. They had for a while. It was like
the satin team jackets.
The satin team jacket. I was like, oh please. Never got the phone. The leather embossed New York Yankees win the World Series. I got that when the Yankees won the series. So I got a year of Sports Illustrated in what I would call its absolute prime, because that's when Rick Riley was doing the last page of the Rick Riley would do these amazing stories.
He's just an angry man now, by the way. He's just an angry man now.
Happens to all of us, dude. Buckle up. We're headed there.
I hope I never get that angry. I hope I still have a sense of humor about stuff.
And then something softens you. You're angry from about 35 to 60.
Okay.
And then I think around 60, you start to soften. I don't know, or maybe it's the grandkids. Maybe that's what it is. Is like, there's this, but you start to soften and give in a little. I didn't realize Rick Riley was.
Well, my mug is the Rush with Travis and Ross coffee mug, which I think everybody who watches or listens to the show should have one of these in your house. All you have to do is go to therushladio.com, click on the merch tab, buy yourself a coffee mug. It's that simple. You should start your day listening to us and drinking a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever you drink out of the Rush with Travis and Ross.
I had one and I broke it. I don't remember.
How'd you break it?
I don't remember if I dropped it in the sink or if I don't know. I don't remember how I chipped it.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a game by the Hawkeyes last night. What a game by the Iowa Hawkeyes. I know they lost 79-72 to Purdue, but that was a fun game to watch for me, Ross. I buckled in my seat at 5:30 yesterday. My wife's like, what are you doing downstairs? I'm watching the Hawks. Don't come downstairs. Just leave me alone. I'm watching the Hawks. It was a fun game to watch. They were in it. They had every I mean, Purdue is Purdue, right? They've won, 8 straight now? They're ranked 5th in the country. Iowa went toe-to-toe, and I'm not saying it's a moral victory. I'm just saying it was a fun basketball game for me to watch.
I think that I think this is the definition of a moral victory. When you lose and you're still like, that wasn't so bad, was it?
I can live with that. I can live.
Yeah, I can live with my team competing with one of the best teams in the country. And I did have that thought last night at some point, like, is Purdue really that good?
It's
Did
funny you say
thing?
that. Yeah, I had the same thing going, maybe Purdue's not the 5th best team in the country.
Maybe they're not elite like we thought.
But I don't want to diminish Iowa State's win over Purdue, and I don't want to diminish how good Iowa played last night against Purdue.
Purdue's beaten everybody else they've played. Everybody. Except for Iowa State, who came in and just destroyed them. So I'm with you. I said I had a moment last night where I watched that game and thought, damn, Hawks are, because I did the same thing, Trav. Gets to about halftime, I'm like, look at this. They're playing. The size isn't the issue we thought it might be. I mean, it was the difference.
It is, and it isn't.
Right.
They countered it just fine defensively.
Yes, good way to put it. Thank you.
And what I mean by a fun basketball game to watch by both teams, the ball movement by both teams was spectacular. Iowa was able to whip it around. They led at halftime 34-31, built that lead up to 9 in the second half. I think they got to the first media timeout. They were up by 9 at that point. And then Purdue comes back, and there was a stretch in the second half that was just big boy basketball. That was fun. It was tied at 50. And I think from like the 10-minute mark to the 4-minute mark, they were just trading. It was trading blows like, Hearns and Hagler. You're like, oh, my God, just watch these teams go at it.
There was even an exchange, Trav. My dad went outside to smoke a ciggy out back. And he missed that exchange. I'm gonna forget who it was. Iowa has Sturtz misses a 3. Purdue gets the rebound. They've got a fast break going the other way, 2-on-1. One of the Hawkeyes races back and gets into the passing lane in the lane. He races back, gets a steal. They turn it the other way. Hawks now have a 3-on-2 break, bounce pass, and I think I don't remember. One of the Hawks throws it down. Big dunk.
There were a couple big dunks last night.
Come back the other way, and that was when had the steal at the top of the key and went down 2-on-none, lazy, and threw it down again. I'm like, this is. Dad came back in. I'm like, you got to watch this. You got to watch this exchange. This is a lot of fun to watch this.
Yeah, it was fun basketball, and I forget who put it. Slick Motorsports put it into the chat, and that is Brandon Smith balled out last night. He's the kid with the beard from Purdue, and he had a spectacular second half. I think he was scoreless in the first half. Second half, he was the difference maker. I mean, and that's what another thing that's fun to watch is when you got two ballers. You got the Bennett Sturts and Brandon Smith last night. They both performed. Sturts has got to stop getting into foul trouble early on. That was a problem because he still played a lot of minutes, but they had to take him out early. He got two fouls pretty early, but man, so close. You see how close this team is.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, again, that's the moral victory part of it.
Yes,
is you lose and you still go, hey, look how close we were. Does it bother you? Why does my head do this? It's like Smith, they put that stat line up last night. He's scoreless in the first half, right? He has 16 in the second, or 14. I think he had 14 at that point. Maybe he went to the line or had just scored, and they put the graphic up that he averages 14.6
per game. Yes.
That made me mad. Where I'm like, okay. He's scoring his season average in one half against us. And I know that's how averages work. I get it. But there's something in my brain where it's like, hell, the guy's scoreless in the first half and I let him go off. And it's like, don't let him. Let him.
I think he's the type of player that knows how to make plays for himself. And when they need him to step up, he steps up. I'm going to go back to your a comment when you're watching Purdue and you go, are they really that good? I'm going to throw this one at you. Haven't we done that year after year after year with Purdue? You go, are you really that good? But they just keep winning.
And they're always really good. They're just never, we talk about them being elite. We think they might be elite. Don't get it done. They're a super good basketball team at this point in mid-January, Travis. When you lose a game like that, I do think that the important thing as a fan, kind of step back. Hawks are now 12-5 on the season.
12-5. They dropped to 2-4 in the Big Ten. Three straight losses for the Hawks.
That's the thing that's glaring on the bad side of it. 2-5 isn't great either. So got to get things turned around, but you're through those three ranked teams, or two of those two ranked teams back to back. And again, you competed with one of the best teams in the conference. That's for sure. Say what you want about elite, best teams in the country, whatever. They're going to be a top 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. Purdue is. So played with a team like that. That's great. You got to start winning these games. And having a 9-point lead last night, I let myself mentally move in, Trav. I did the thing that I told you as realtors, I tell people not to do when you're writing a subject to sale offer. And a 9-point lead at Purdue, you've got some contingencies to clear. Okay. And last night I did that for a minute. Hawks were up and I started coloring the walls. Oh man, Hawks are going to be back in the top 20. Oh, what's this mean for the NCAA tournament? This is a chalkboard win.
You're out over your skis at that point,
and now it's just another loss. If you zoom out,
that's what fans do. I mean,
I know.
At the end of the day,
it's fun.
Yeah, that's why it's fun. That's why it's heartbreaking. Totally get it. It was fun to see other guys step up too. Cale Combs was incredible last night. He was 4 for 5 from behind the arc. What Iowa couldn't stop was that Purdue shot 72% in the second half. 72% in the second half. 16 of 22 from the field. 2 of 4 from behind three-point line. Iowa just 15 of 29. And that's not bad. They shot 51% in the second half. Purdue just did a better job of getting to the line in the second half. 14 of 16 from the line. Iowa 3 of 5 from the line in the second half.
And you're right, Josh. Not lack of defense. Great ball movement on both sides of the ball. At one point, I think early in the game, did they say Purdue had 9 assists on 9 field goals, or were there a run where they had 9 assists on 9 field goals?
That wouldn't surprise the way the ball movement was happening last night. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, let's look at assists. Iowa had 14 assists on 27 made baskets. Oh my God. Purdue had 20 assists on 27 made baskets.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And I think that's a
incredible.
credit
Wow.
of why you sit there and go, are they really that good? But then they share the basketball so much. They had 4 guys in double figures. It was just one of those games. I got done going, okay, it sucks to lose, but I can live with this. What I won't be able to live with is if now that they're 100% healthy, we have to take the flu into account. Let's say the flu bug had a definite effect at Minnesota and against Illinois.
I'm okay. I mean, maybe that's fan glasses or excuses, whatever you'd want to say. I'm okay with that. The team wasn't feeling well.
Ross, they have to beat Indiana on this weekend.
Well, dude, this is the thing we talked about before this stretch started. We saw this coming. We said, hey, rough patch. Probably going to lose at Purdue. Does that, and we said this Indiana game is going to be really tough.
Just because it's if it was in Iowa City, I would say it is a win for Iowa. The fact that it's at Assembly Hall changes it a little bit, but Indiana is good. It's not great. Maybe on par with Iowa. I think, Indiana is a team that's going to shoot 345 3-pointers during a game. I mean, that's what they're built on. They don't have much of an inside game. And I use the 345 as an exaggeration. I sure as hell know that they don't take that many, but they're going to take a lot. They're going to probably take 30, 35 3-pointers if they can. They're just going to launch it up and hope to beat you that way.
Dude, they scored 113 against Penn State.
When they fall, they fall. When they don't, they don't. But I'm
Back-to-back
looking
losses,
at that.
back-to-back losses for Indiana, but those are to Nebraska and Michigan State.
Two of the best teams.
Two of those top 5 teams in the league. Yeah, around there. They did beat K-State early in the season. Other than that, they don't really have any great wins. They lost to Minnesota at Minnesota. Beat Washington and beat Maryland. Neither of those are Maryland's not good.
Do you think Iowa has a signature win yet?
Oh, boy. Good question, Trav. If I'm looking it up, no. Nope. In fact, I think that there are opportunities for that, at Michigan State, at Iowa State,
Illinois would have been a
Illinois,
win.
at Purdue. Those would have all been signature wins. What is the Hawkeyes' best win right now?
Ole Miss.
I was just going to say Ole Miss, probably. And then you go to UCLA.
That might be. I wouldn't call it a signature win.
No, it's not signature. Just best win.
Yeah.
Yep. Ole Miss and UCLA would be right. Would probably be 1 and 2 there.
And that's why I think the Indiana game is so important, because I forget who said it earlier that, moral victories don't get you to the dance. And you're right about that.
You've got to get wins. I saw Ray put that in the chat. Like, hey, this is cool and all. You guys got to start getting wins.
There's some truth to that.
Nebraska's almost 20-0.
Which is crazy. There's only 3 unbeaten teams left in college basketball.
And
Arizona
is Nebraska.
Arizona, Nebraska, and Miami of Ohio are your only 3 unbeaten teams left in college basketball.
Indiana is playing for the college football national title, and Nebraska basketball is 17-0, 18.
I think 17-0 now.
17-0 right now.
Yeah, it's Stranger Things. We live in the upside down world. Indiana's good at football. Nebraska's good at basketball. We are in the upside down world. We are in a different dimension.
Is when we were kids and you would go on those time travel adventures, right? You were saying earlier, we were talking about this. Ann Jeanette's a big fan of the time travel things. Courtney is getting into this
11/22/63. It's on Netflix. It's a Stephen King book that's been adapted for television.
I didn't know Stephen King. Did you drop that on me earlier?
I did. You just weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. I was still getting ready. And quite frankly, sometimes I just don't listen. Let's just say what it is.
Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. I'm used to it. I'm like, oh, he's not listening to me right now.
Spade, it takes one to know one, right? Takes one to smell one.
Absolutely. There's sometimes I'm like,
but what was happening?
Did you say something? Yeah, it's because when you go down your conspiracy theories, I'm like, I'm not into this one. I'm not into this rabbit hole.
Travis, another great underrated Tropic Thunder line. Oh, you've been talking to me this whole time? So anyway, I love that.
Everything in life can be put back to Tropic Thunder. It really can be.
So the time travel stuff is a lot of fun to think about. I love it. They're fun. Those are fun adventures to do this. Is that sci-fi? It's not. Is that sci-fi or is that
historical? I think it would be a little sci-fi. Now, because I didn't read the book. My wife likes to let me know that she read the book, so she's so much more advanced than I am. But if there's a Stephen King element to it, there's got to be a little something of a horror aspect too, right? Or suspense. But yeah, it's probably a little sci-fi, intertwined with other genres. But if we would have, in 1995, hell, in 2015, forwarded to 2026 and said, Nebraska's unbeaten in basketball and Indiana's playing for the college football national championship, and we wouldn't play this to future bet. That's where you want it. You want to be Biff. You want to be Biff with the with the gambling sheet.
Not to make it political. I don't want to make this political. I swear to God. But just go back to 2005. Okay, go back 20 years. And say, hey, in the sports world, Indiana is going to be playing for the college football national title. Nebraska is going to be 17-0 in basketball and ranked in the top 10. NBA players will be signing with colleges to play college basketball. Let's see. What else could we throw at you? Oh, yeah.
College football players will be getting paid millions of dollars. Guys
will be transferring like you couldn't believe. Donald Trump is president. 2004, tell somebody that. There's a Muslim mayor in New York City. They would go, all right. You've gone too far. I couldn't even get behind the Indiana college football national title thing. What kind of crazy world are you living in?
That's probably the most unrealistic one. Like, Indiana?
Yeah, of all those crazy
things, Indiana's the most craziest one of them all.
Wait, my brain froze at Indiana.
You said what? Muslim mayor of New York after 9/11? I suppose a sign of unity. Players getting paid. Yeah, I could see that. Nebraska, they had some good years under Danny, but Indiana,
no.
I gotta stop you right there.
You swapped those things. You meant Indiana's in the basketball.
Good at basketball.
Yeah,
that's why we're living in the upside down.
There's a lot of things that you could put in that category that people would go, what? 20 years.
Crazy. If you could travel through time, would you do it?
Yeah. Do you think time travel exists? Better question. Here's my favorite two questions. If you invented time travel, you discovered it, would you tell anybody?
No, not anybody. I would take advantage of it for myself. I would be selfish.
Second question is not a question. It's a statement. So did the guy that found it and invented it.
All you have to do is watch The Simpsons to know that time travel exists.
I don't know. I'm gonna find this kid's name. I'm gonna find this new genius's name. He's my new Elon Musk. He's super fun to listen to. Looks like he's going to a Jimmy Buffett concert. He's the CEO. He's like a Tony Stark.
Does he have like a light bulb for a heart and an energy pack full of protons, neutrons, and electrons?
He was on with Rogan talking about this. I don't want to call it what it's like. Looks like night vision technology that the soldiers have, and they can see through stuff.
Like, hold on.
Like you look at a building, it's in it, and
you can see through the wall, like X-ray vision.
Exactly.
Okay.
Wild. Travis, have you followed at all what went down in Venezuela? The U.S. military used a directed energy weapon, like a microwave type of weapon. 20 dudes went down there. None of them died. And 20 dudes went down there and killed hundreds of Venezuelan soldiers and captured a well-guarded leader, whatever, and brought him back. And the stories that you can hear, or the stuff that's at least leaking out, and whether it's true or not, who knows, are like that it's a technology beyond belief.
Okay, let's bring this to the sports world. What you were just saying about these night vision glasses. Can you hear what's going on in there? Because can you see if this technology becomes available, people hanging outside locker rooms, looking inside to spying on, hey, you were able to X-ray through the wall and see what coach is drawing up on the, you've got Matt Painter and his crew outside the Iowa locker room looking through the wall, watching Ben McCollum draw up the adjustments for the second half.
Isn't there a way? Wouldn't there be the technology to exist right now for a team to be able to listen in on a huddle?
Yes, 100%. I think it would be easily traceable. Probably.
Think so?
I would think so. Well, hell, half the time, TVs go, let's go inside the huddle with Ben McCollum, and he's giving the rah-rah, but you don't. They usually don't go, hey, you cut here, you go here, you break to the outside, you got a wide open jump shot. If it's there, take it. They're usually pretty selective on what they show. But yeah, technology is there to steal probably anything we want.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory about Indiana?
The football team?
Using technology to basically hack into other teams' plays?
I have not.
Yeah.
You mean through
it's again, conspiracy theory. There's all sorts of stuff out there. I mean, hell, we haven't even talked about the 49ers thing. 49ers are having all those soft tissue injuries because their facility is next to a power station. Have you heard this one?
I saw something. I didn't go down the rabbit hole.
Justin mentioned this, I think, on like Monday. Right at the end of the show, Justin said, oh, yeah, by the way, we've got to talk about the Niners conspiracy theory. And then I think he sent us a link. But right away, I started getting bombarded with it. People are like, you got to check this out. And my buddy Flag is a big 49ers fan. So he was on top of it right away. He sent it to me. And he's a conspiracy theorist. So up his alley.
No
It's
wonder
interesting.
You get along so well.
What's that?
No wonder you get along so well.
No kidding, right? It's interesting. I'm not smart enough to know whether or not there's any truth to it or not, but the elevator pitch on the conspiracy theory is this: there's a power station that is putting off insane amounts of energy that is right next to the 49ers facility, and the theory is that energy is deteriorating things like collagen inside the body. And that's why the 49ers are more susceptible to soft tissue injuries on the field than other NFL teams, is because of their proximity to this power station. There's the 10-second.
It's believable. There's a golf course in Omaha called Stone Creek that has power lines, and it's right on a main fairway, and all you hear is bzzz, and you're like, that's sending something out, right? It's like it's coming down on me. It's kind of weird.
I'm totally with you, Trav. I do the same thing. I stand there and think, I don't think that's good.
You need to remember one name, folks. Fiscus Jewelers. If you want a first name to go with that, Noel Fiscus, because he's the man. He's the jeweler, and he can make your jewelry dreams come true. Fiscus Jewelers is a full-service jeweler in Ankeny at 1701 Southeast Delaware, Suite 250. What does Noel do? He offers custom design, one-of-a-kind pieces that fit your budget. You don't have to spend a ton if you don't want to, or you can spend a ton if you want to. He's got engagement.
He wouldn't mind. He won't put a limit on it.
Not at all. He's got your engagement or bridal rings. Need something repaired? Take care of that. Need it sized, stone setting, chain repair, retipping. Need an appraisal on a piece of jewelry? They can do that in a few days. They can clean it, polish it, and give you a full documented replacement value. Fiscus Jewelers. Open Monday through Saturday. Start your design today at fiscusjewelers.com. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Prosnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Oh, did see you there. Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Land Rover Des Moines. My personal New Year's resolution is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. Come on down for $25 off your service. You can give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
Hi, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Are you on the verge of taking that next big step in your relationship? Our latest collection of engagement rings is here to make your moment even more memorable. From stunning classics to modern designs, each ring is meticulously crafted to symbolize your unique love story. Looking for something truly one of a kind? Explore our custom engagement ring options and let us bring your vision to life. Visit our showroom in Ankeny and let's start creating the ring of your dreams together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Whether it's Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, Sprite, Dasani Water, Powerade, or your go-to energy drink, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company keeps Iowa stocked with refreshment that's brewed, bottled, and delivered right here in the heart of the Midwest. Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. You can leave your comments in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. You can always reach out to us on our social media channels. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Ross, as much as we talked about the Iowa game in the first half hour and a disappointing loss for the Hawks, but a fun game to watch, the Drake Bulldogs were down 17 in the second half, fought all the way back to win in overtime against Southern Illinois 76-73. A win Hendo and the Bulldogs needed in the worst way. That's a good win.
That can be, let's see, that can be the type of season turning around. Season saving is probably, but man, to come down from that, that's exactly the type of thing you need when you've been going through what this team has been going through, and for everybody, but primarily for Hendo and the guys in the locker room. You can build off of that. That's the type of stuff that's got ripple effects. Start to believe in each other, start to believe in the system, whatever it is. Go, hey, that was more fun than losing. Let's go do that again.
Well,
that's cool. Me, great win.
To me, it says a lot about, because you start when you start getting in the point of the season where you get some losses and you lose the way they did to Belmont, and you go, gosh, can he keep this team together? Can they stay together? Can they not go off on tangents or divide a locker room? The fact that you're down 17 and you're still mentally in it, because you're probably like, here we go again. We're on the road. We're down 17, but you fight. And I think it says a lot about Hendo and the way that he's keeping this team together and glued together.
Completely agree with that, dude. It is, there's my dude. I'm going to start counting how many times I dropped dudes on you.
Drink.
Drink. That's exactly what I'm talking about, though, is you start to believe in yourself, believe in the guys around you, start to think that, Travis, it was, the other thing was starting to happen. It was starting to set in. We talk about Kansas and playing at Fog Allen. We talk about Hilton Magic and the belief that comes with that. Man, when you can't get it done, I think for a long time, Nebraska football under Scott Frost dealt with this, where you a fumble would happen, a bad call would happen, and this mentality sets in right away. It goes, shit.
For as much as we make fun of Scott Frost, go look at the number of one-score losses that Scott Frost had.
I mean, we all know the ways they found to lose games. It was insane. Yep. The ball just bounced the wrong way all the time. Turnovers at the most inopportune times. It was crazy. And a belief starts to set in, and that was my fear. Was that Drake was starting to get that thing to set in of like, oh man, we've got to close the deal. This happens in business. That happens in business. When you go through a dry stretch, when the phone doesn't ring for a couple weeks, you're like, oh,
the sky's falling.
Sky's falling. Oh my God. Turn it around. You get some wins. You get some yeses, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. This is how this goes. And again, with Drake, I believe that Hendo has to, and for Drake fans, which is just such a shitty spot to be in, but just constantly say, well, these games don't matter. Just hang out. Playing for position, they do matter. You're playing for position, and they do matter. You're playing for confidence and all those other things. I do think that there has to be a part in the conversation where, as a Drake fan, you just say to yourself, all right, got to give this time, and this stuff doesn't matter right now. Losing some of these games didn't kill us. Got to look at it as a learning lesson. Winning these games.
Being 9-9 is better than being 3 and whatever. Right?
Exactly. 3-15. Yeah. It could be worse is always a good attitude, and it's going to be better is the better attitude. Give it time. Hendo's going to turn it around. The guys, they'll start to believe in themselves. They'll start to believe in this. Really nice win for them last night in the fashion that it happened. Kind of, Travis, like we talked about yesterday with the Iowa game. Well, what if they lose by X amount? Depends on what it looks like.
It's all in the optics.
Yeah. What were the optics last night? Iowa can play with Purdue. What are the optics of it? And I think that when you come back from being down like that, that's really good optics. You come away from that going, yeah.
Justin will get the correct number later. I think it's like the 6th or 7th straight win over Southern Illinois for the Bulldogs. Drake was down 37-26 at half. Southern, I think, went on a 12-0 run to start the second half. Went up, by like 17, and then Drake ended up outscoring Southern 41-30 in the second half. Outscored them in the overtime period 9-6. Free throws, a big difference in that because both teams had 2 field goals, I believe, in the overtime period. Drake at the free throw line, 5 of 6 in the overtime period. Southern Illinois, 2 for 2. So Drake was able to get to the line, seal the game in that final 5 minutes. Now they go on the road to play Illinois Chicago, a team that just knocked off Northern Iowa. So another road game won't be easy. But just a good win for Hendo and a good win for the Bulldogs. And hopefully that appeases Bulldog fans who are the few, but the vocal that are impatient. And yes, expectations and demands are different for everybody, right? Meaning we still think Iowa should be a tournament team. And if they don't get to the tournament, that would be a disappointment to me.
Now, well, yeah, absolutely, Trav. I think that was, everybody's hope was get to the tournament. Everybody's expectation was be on that bubble, be in that conversation. If you don't make it,
yeah, because you can do that but Drake being in the Missouri Valley Conference, losing a lot of players and a lot of really good players. There's going to be ups and downs, and I can handle that going, okay, I don't expect Drake to be an NCAA tournament team this year. I didn't even before the season started. You're like, okay, let's just wait and see. Expectations are different at every level. Jalen Quinn had 21 points last night. Eli Shetler comes, he made just his 5th start of the season. He hit 5 of 11 3-pointers, so he was effective from behind the arc. He had 19. And Federico had 12. Your 3 players in double figures as Drake, again, improves to 9-9 on the season, 3-4 in the Missouri Valley Conference, getting a road win in Carbondale, 76-73. We've seen the chaos of the transfer portal, Ross, in football. You brought it up yesterday, like 10,000 players in the transfer portal.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly. They changed the window this year. It was a messed up window, meaning and it's hard with the academic calendar because if you're going to transfer, you got to get to that new school by the time class starts. So it's a messed up window. The window closed yesterday for teams that were knocked out in the semifinals. The teams that are playing in the finals will get a couple extra days to get into the transfer portal. But it was just a messed up window. Basketball agreed on a new transfer portal and a shorter transfer portal window yesterday. It will not open at all until the national championship game is over. So the men's transfer portal will now go April 7th through the 20th, through the 21st. The women's transfer portal will be open April 6th through the 20th. So basketball has, and football is going to need to do something. And why the window was screwed up, let's use the Lane Kiffin situation. Meaning he wanted to take his assistant coaches. So you had assistant coaches bounces back and forth, and that created just absolute chaos. I don't know when you open the portal for football.
What you just said with Lane Kiffin is evidence A for the football being screwed up. Dude, evidence B, we watched the national college football semifinal. Oregon runs on the field. And as they're announcing the starting lineup, oh, this guy, by the way, he's in the portal.
He's starting, but he's not going to be here next year.
He's still playing and starting. Kind of an odd situation.
Hold on real quick. 517-2303. Let's go to our buddy Brent. Brent, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, man?
Not much. Hey, I'm sorry I'm going back on you a little bit.
That's fine.
because you're talking about Iowa basketball and the tournament. I think we're heading toward danger zone pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
I think we've got 6 losses overall, if I'm thinking right.
You're 12 and Iowa's 12-5 and 2-4 in the Big Ten Conference.
Okay, so you're going to Indiana. That's probably a loss. You still got Nebraska twice, another game at Purdue, and that's not
Michigan
counting some of the other teams that will be tough away. Yeah, Michigan's on the schedule. I mean, it's going to be. They got a lot of work to do because you're going to have to be around 500 in the conference to get in the tournament. So, I mean, you're looking at 5 losses probably after Indiana, unless you go down there and beat them. Are you going to beat Nebraska or not? There's probably 2 losses there. You're looking at 7 right there. You lose again to Purdue, that's 8. You lose to Michigan, that's 9. So, I mean, what I'm trying to get to is that unless you upset some of those teams, you're going to have to run most of the rest of the table. Are you really going to do that?
Well, and this is Brent, this is where the non-conference comes into play, right? We said before, what is Iowa's signature win? And we know Iowa State has it. Now, Iowa State's in a totally different category.
Yeah.
But you can look at it, if they were in the same boat, you would look at it and go, oh, that Purdue win's a signature win. Iowa doesn't have that signature win to where you go, man, that's going to get them in. That's going to weigh heavily on the committee. Right. And that's where the non-conference, as the Med McCollum era continues to move forward, that non-conference is going to have to get tougher.
I agree. I mean, I don't think you're totally wrong, but I'm still a proponent of winning games, both in football and basketball. I think the number one thing is win games versus who you're actually playing, especially when you're in a major conference. I'm not saying our Big Ten basketball conference is as good as it used to be, but it's still not bad. And you're playing 20 games in that conference, and roughly, or is 18 or 20? I think it's 20. I don't know that you have to have this massive non-conference schedule. And then the other day, if you're 15 and 15, you're not getting in. Regardless if you played this great or non-conference schedule. And it's just the same thing I believe in football. Why go out and lose games in the non-conference when you got a gauntlet in the conference? So that. I don't know. That's just my take. I know they got the net rankings and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you could have a great net ranking. Are you going to get in at 15 and 15 or something? I think the answer is no. You may not even get in at
15 and 15 is not going to get you in. Dude from Iowa says 19 and 11 get you in the tournament. I don't know if that's the case.
Okay.
Would you agree with that? 19 and 11 get you in the tournament?
It depends on those 19. You got to have some signature wins.
But just go down the schedule and see how to get to 19-11. See where that margin is to get to 19-11. We got to win a lot of games, I guess. If you're going to go 2-5, you still got some other tough games like we talked about. 4 really tough games you probably won't win. You might win. Maybe you pull an upset. It starts to really add up though. You're already creeping in that 19-11 area if you win a bunch of the other games, right? But you got road games out west. You go out to Washington, not a great team, but you're going to have to go out west and play that, right?
Well, the thing about Washington you got to look out for is they're not 100% healthy yet. They've got some players that are sitting that are going to change the dynamic of Washington basketball once they get back on the court, right? Now they got beat last night. I forget who they played last night, but they did lose last night. But I'd almost put Washington and Iowa in the same category. And if Washington gets 100% healthy, it's going to be a different team. And they're bad right now. Don't look past Oregon. Just because Dana Altman finds a way to rally late, but that would be a win. Where you and I probably disagree, I look at this Indiana team that I was playing, and I put this as a win. The Indiana relies so much on the winnable, more winnable than the Illinois game, I think, more winnable than the Purdue game. I look at this and go, if you can play good perimeter defense, shut down their three-pointers, or at least contest so it makes it a little difficult for them to get shots off, you're relying on Indiana hitting threes left and right because that's how they win.
I thought for sure when you said Brent was calling in, I thought for sure he was going to reference yesterday. You talked about Banks starting, and man, wasn't it Banks that was red hot to start the game?
Yeah. Him and Cale Combs were red hot.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? That was a nice little switch up, and I guess looking back on it, probably had more to do with health than anything, Brent.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the starting lineup changes, they've had guys sick, they've had the flu or whatever going through the team the last, weekish or so. So that's, it sounds like Banks wasn't feeling all that well. I don't think it was a matter he wasn't starting to do, he just wasn't feeling that great. And they brought somebody else off. But yeah, no, I like what they're doing, by the way. I like what Bennett's doing. I just think this is looking tough. I mean, because I look back at the last couple of years with Fran. Fran got these kind of starts in the Big Ten and had a heck of a time making the tournament. Even if we made a little run in the middle of the season, we had to win. That Minnesota was a killer. That's a killer.
Yeah,
I even think we should have beat Illinois, even though we got off to a little bit of a bad start. We had that game almost back into our favor, and just how many missed bunnies did we miss at the end? And the other thing too, I'm noticing is, gosh, we don't shoot a lot of free throws. I mean, how many games are we, down, -10, -15, especially on the road? We're hardly getting any free throws at all. I don't know,
Brent. You credit that, and I look at that. It's just lack of size and going inside. I know people will be upset that Purdue shot 22 free throws last night. Iowa shot 10, but just look at the size difference. And even with Illinois, able to just bang it inside and go to the hoop. I was not built that way. And if Fulgaris is only going to play last night, he played 14 minutes, and he's one of your biggest guys on the court. He's not what I'd call a banger. But, I mean, you're going to get more free throws if you go inside, and I think I was just not built that way. They try to get Sturtz in some one-on-one situations to draw the foul, which he did last night a couple times. Let's see, Bennett Sturtz from the free throw line, 3 of 4 from the line last night. He had a couple and ones. So, but you're right, they don't shoot that many free throws.
Yeah, so I mean, you're battling back from that. But no, I like what they're doing. I just kind of see us I think we're in danger zone, but maybe it's just me.
No, that's fair.
I think when you look at the schedule and kind of lay it out, you've got to get some signature wins. You've got to get some stuff that's going to sway, because you're going to be on that fringe. Good news is there are opportunities out there. Bad news is, I think Brent's right. Yep. You're in that kind of danger zone. You lose a few of these games at Oregon, at Washington. Now you're inching further and further away from the bubble. So, and then again, opportunities. Beat Nebraska. Get Purdue at home.
Which after last night, I totally think is possible.
Beat Michigan at home at the end of the year. I mean, there are opportunities to kind of put some whatever you want to call it, notches on the headboard.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it, man.
Yep, thanks, guys. Take care.
See you, bud.
I like talking to Brent. I like it when he calls. I like his Musk.
I miss your Musk.
Miss your Musk.
He's coming. Keckner's coming to Des Moines. Dude, listen. Unpaid promotion here for
the Funny Bone.
The Funny Bone. They have got a really good lineup coming up here in the next couple of months. I actually was on their website yesterday, bought some tickets for a show, and then made plans. I need to tell Courtney this, for a second show that we're going to go to in June, because my brother really likes this influencer guy. He's got this fun thing.
It's funny that you say it, because comedy clubs now are being filled by like YouTubers, and they're selling out because, and I'm like, who is this person? Well, he's a YouTuber. And it's
but some of them are comedians who have utilized the platform, right? And this guy, Derek Cahill, is in that category. He's coming in early June. And my brother had turned me on to him. My brother called me one day and was like, hey, have you seen this guy? He does this thing. He owns an old house, and his bit is, hey, welcome back to another episode of Fuck This House. And then he shows you the things that are wrong with his house, and he does it in a very comedic fashion. It's really fun.
Speaking of comedy, I was on Netflix last night after the Iowa game, and I watched a little bit of Kill Tony. I didn't like it.
Dude, the thing on Netflix is bad. Did you see the Roseanne one?
Yes, and
it's
so
bad.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Roseanne, you're not funny. And then the first comic that came out, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just not into this. And maybe it was the setting and the way they did it in an arena, and it just didn't do it for me.
Here's what I would say, dude. You've been to enough comedy shows to know it's a lot like an open mic night. You're gonna get some garbage. Kill Tony you got to be patient with it because there is a lot of misses. But every now and again, you find an absolute gem in the rough there, and that's been fun. I really like Cam Patterson has.
Maybe they shouldn't have started the show with Roseanne. It's
no,
like, oh,
she was bad.
Yeah, and just I like Dick.
It's bad, dude. It's horrible.
I'm like,
Which I was really surprised in because I've always heard great things about her as a stand-up comedian, and I think the other part of it is with Kilter, and I think Tony Hinchcliffe is really love what he's done. He's helped a lot of people. It's a really, really, really hard business, and he's a dude that's reaching down and helping people get up. It's really, really cool that what he does. But I think that the overselling, I'm not much of a hyperbole. Like everything is the greatest thing you've ever seen. This person's an absolute rocket ship of talent, and then they come out and they suck. And then the next person, it's like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this insane talent is coming out, and they suck. And you're like, well, you can't do that every time. Well, let's let them come out and prove their worth. Anyway, glad you watched that. That's fun.
Yeah, I watched about 15 minutes, and I said, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
I did the exact same thing with that one. Exact same thing.
There are better.
Yes, much better. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see the analytics on like Netflix, how far they get into the show for people to go, this one isn't for me. Where do they turn off?
Yeah.
Huh. I got a busy morning after the show. Right after the show, I got to take my wife to she's got a colonoscopy today. She's been upstairs pooping all night, man. All night. We didn't sleep together last night. Not because she didn't want to sleep with me, but because she took the ultra cleanse. Here's what I don't get that we're trying to figure out about the Affordable Care Act. When you're 50, you're coming up. You may want to start scheduling your colonoscopy now, Ross, because it takes like 3 years to get it in.
Already had one.
Oh, you had? Oh, yeah, that's right. You had the diver.
No. Well, my mom, when mom passed away, she died of colon cancer.
Okay, so they wanted to check.
Yeah.
But, 5 years ago, she had some polyps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so she had to go. I had to wait 10 years because I'm clean. Knock on wood. Well, because she had to go back in 5. This one's not paid for. And I'm like, well, why not? If you paid for the first one to be preventative, why aren't you paying for this one? Why do I got to pay for this one? Me bitching about it. You just slowly take a drink. Don't feel sorry for me. Zero empathy from Ross.
What's it going to cost you? Do you know?
Well, it'd probably be, because it's the new year and my deductible hasn't been met, probably a couple $1,000s.
I swear to God, call them and ask them what it would be if you didn't involve insurance.
That's a good point.
Do it and see what happens.
We just paid you cash right now.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
If you don't have to go through the insurance company, first of all, can you do that? Is there a place in town that can do that? And what's that going to cost me? Or you just pay it because then it goes towards your yearly deductible on your insurance anyway. You know what I mean?
And then after that, if any of us get sick or anything, then it's a lot better.
Yeah. Patrick says your insurance covers it, but I imagine,
I hope it does.
I am really glad that Anjanette doesn't listen to the show.
She might be up there listening to it now, going because she's just been up since 2:00 in the morning drinking the solution,
stomping on the floor.
You shouldn't be embarrassed by a colonoscopy.
Mouth. Shut your mouth. You don't have to tell people about my.
Hey, folks, join the frenzy with the Iowa Lottery because the Iowa Lottery wants to put you courtside with the Iowa Wolves and the Minnesota Timberwolves with a VIP experience that includes watching warm-ups courtside, plus $1,000 cash and a night in Minneapolis. This promotion from the Iowa Lottery is open for entries now. Here's what you need to know. Non-winning Cash Frenzy scratch tickets can be entered into your Iowa Lottery VIP club account for a chance to win. Don't have a VIP club account? Go to the iowalottery.com/VIP to get the details and to register your VIP account for free. 2 entry periods will take place. We're in the first one right now, which goes through January 26th. Courtside seats to an Iowa Wolves game and a VIP Lotto Zone courtside experience up for grabs. And all entries not selected as winners will go into the grand prize drawing for the Timberwolves VIP weekend prize pack experience.
Tyler's being mean, but I think you'll enjoy this. He's got an idea for Anjanette. He says, just to have Ross's chicken. That'll clear you out.
Well, you know, she couldn't eat yesterday, and I was starving, and I'm lazy. I'm like, I know you can't eat, but are you making dinner?
You did not.
I did. I go, are you making dinner? It's like, no. So I'm down here watching the Hawk game, get on the app, order a couple pizzas. Domino's shows up. She just comes down. Really? You order pizza? Well, I go, you weren't making dinner. I got to eat. Is that the wrong approach to take?
You're still married.
Is that insensitive?
You're the one.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City. We can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City. All this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SB. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Remember that buying a car is one thing, keeping it running is another. That's where Willis Automotive really separates itself. Their service department is top-notch, folks, and they take care of you long after you drive your car off the lot. New or used, sales or service, start with willisauto.com. Willis Automotive proudly powers the Rush Radio Show. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription, give the video a like, and of course, leave your comments in the comment section, and you can follow us on our social media channels. My name is Travis Justice. His name is Ross Peterson. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Established a lot of things already this morning. I'm an insensitive person. I demand a lot out of my wife, even when she's getting ready for a colonoscopy.
We've known those things. We've that, yeah.
I just reinforce my reputation day after day after day after day.
As soon as you were like, there's these moments I got to start like trying to capture them. There's these little things you do that I've over our 15 years of friendship. It's just so much fun when we're in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden you'll say things like essentially that are like, hey, I don't mean to piss everybody off, but right. And I love it. I'm right in the middle of a conversation. You're like, my wife's got to get a colonoscopy, so she's upstairs just crapping her brains out.
Well, I told her, I said, hey, you're going to feel great for like 3 days because you are just, that's the ultimate cleanse. I mean, you've gotten like every bad bacteria out of your body.
Good job.
In most radio shows that happen on a day like today, this would have been the lead story, but because we broadcast in Iowa to a majority of Iowa audience or Iowa fans and Iowa State fans. We talked about the Iowa Hawkeyes losing at Purdue last night. Good game. Fun game to watch. Disappointing loss. But nationally, Ross, the big story is John Harbaugh. And we knew he's the pick of the litter, right? I mean, he's the pup that you go, oh, that's the guy we want. We knew that he was going to talk to what was believed 4 teams. He had talked to the Atlanta Falcons. He was scheduled to talk to the Tennessee Titans, but we don't believe that happened because it appears he's going to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. The Giants reportedly came to his house in the Baltimore area on Sunday or Monday, spent some time with him. He went up to the New York team facility yesterday, was supposed to spend like the afternoon, didn't leave until like early evening. And they're working out contract deals to where John Harbaugh will be moving to the NFC and to be the head coach of the Giants. Surprised by this move?
Am I muted? Oh, there, man. Man, surprised. Yeah, I am surprised because when we were talking the other day and he comes available and we say, all right, what are the places that would make the most sense here? Man, it seems like the Giants are one of those right now. Stay away. They're making some really bad decisions. Stay away. But he very obviously from the get-go, from those very first days of him being, in the portal, he was clear. I want to be, I got some definite things I'm looking for in my next position. He's a smart guy, knows football way better than any of us do, and obviously sees something there that is desirable and maybe he thinks he can work with and get the best out of.
And maybe this is it, right? And you can look at Tennessee, you can look at Atlanta, which we think are pretty good jobs. You want to stay away from Cleveland. I think you want to stay away from Oakland.
Dallas?
Dallas isn't open.
No. I just mean I'm just thinking of places you want to stay away from.
I'm talking open jobs right now.
Okay.
Miami would be interesting, but you look at New York and you go, okay, I can see where it makes sense. One, you have possibly a franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart, who's just and he'll be going into his second year. You go, okay, you've got your quarterback in place. You've got the number 5 pick in the NFL draft this year. Now, you don't have a third-round pick because you gave that up to get Jackson Dart last year, but you got the number 5 pick this year. So you can fill some gaps. You're going to be 20, possibly $30 million under the cap this year, which will give you room. And in the next couple of years, they're going to be like $100 million under the cap. So you go, okay, you see a path forward working with the GM. I've got a quarterback. I've got a draft pick, and I'm going to have some cap room. And let's not take this out of the equation. What is New York City? It's 3 hours. Well, it's 3 hours from Baltimore. You could realistically say, I'm not moving my family. I'm going to get an apartment in New Jersey or New York. And for how much I'm gone anyway during the season, working 20 hours a day, I can go back and forth if needed. I don't need to uproot my entire family and leave the home that I've known for the past 18 years.
Yeah. That's one of our listeners, Racing for Pinks, just wrote that in. Said pretty close to Baltimore, won't have to move his family. I wouldn't have thought of that, honestly. I wouldn't have considered that he'd be loyal to the region in some way. Maybe that's a part of it. I'm guessing it was more of, again, this is a guy that knows what it takes to win and saw the pieces in place that he needed to see in place and figures that he can be the other missing link here that brings in what brings them to where they want to be.
Over the last two seasons, the Giants are 7-27. That's bad. That's really bad.
Wow.
But you bring it. You have a Jackson Dart. You have cap room. You have the number 5 pick. What are the expectations for John Harbaugh going into this? Isn't a rebuild. I think Giants fans are going, okay, the pieces are in place. They expect to be in the playoffs next year. Am I exaggerating there?
I mean, dude, they finished in dead last in their conference.
Yes.
In their division, I'm sorry. Is the expectation, yeah, probably. It's the NFL. If you've got that much cap room and you can start to make some changes and bring in some of those other pieces. 4-13 last year. This year.
Yeah. Fired your coach in November. And the Giants did their due diligence.
As Tyler says, in a tough division, too. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the expectations are for him next year. I don't know what success looks like. I think if he makes the playoffs next year, that's a definite.
Absolutely.
Really, really great turnaround. The thing that you said, Trav, if you've got a few more seconds here with
absolutely
with Harbaugh.
You have 20 minutes if you want it.
Oh, no, I don't think we need that much time on this bone. But the one that I wanted to ask you about was, you said he was the pick of the litter. If you are one of these NFL owners, Harbaugh over Tomlin?
Yeah, because you don't have to pay for Tomlin. You don't have to give up draft choices, and you don't have to give up money.
This is that resigned step down.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm walking away from the game. The Steelers still own my contractual rights.
All right, those things removed. Then it's all things equal as far as what their salary would be, what it would cost to bring them in. You are the New York Giants. Both those guys are available. Who's your next head coach?
I would say John Harbaugh.
Really?
Yeah, and hear me out.
Okay, yeah.
Is Mike Tomlin inherited Ben Roethlisberger. After that, what quarterback developed under Mike Tomlin? John Harbaugh had Joe Flacco. John Harbaugh had Lamar Jackson. Now, you may say, hey, look at the relationship at the end, but still, he'd been pretty good with Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
And so you look at it and go, here's a guy that has at least developed quarterbacks in the National Football League. Mike Tomlin, he inherited Ben Roethlisberger. So, and what's going to win you a Super Bowl? A franchise quarterback is going to win you a Super Bowl. I can't call Jackson Dart a franchise quarterback yet. But I think there were signs during this year them losing wasn't all Jackson Dart's fault. I think a lot of people said, this kid's got some talent.
Yep. That was apparent.
Yeah. So I'm taking John Harbaugh because of the quarterback situation. What? The fact that you asked the question makes me think you would take Mike Tomlin.
I would if I would take Mike Tomlin. I think that the quarterback thing that you bring up there is a really good point.
Does the age thing bring up a good point for you?
I've liked a lot of the quarterbacks that Mike Tomlin had, and I've thought, oh, this guy's going to be good, and now he's with Mike Tomlin, and it didn't pan out the way I hoped it would. Never been disappointed. Never had a losing season. I'm looking at it, Travis, I guess, but I'm looking at their success in very parallel lines, and I realize I got 10 extra years with Mike Tomlin. Now, in the current world, none of that matters. The 53 and 63 doesn't matter. You got 2 years.
Yeah. First of all, we're never going to see guys like John Harbaugh, 18 years, and Mike Tomlin at 19 years at Pittsburgh in the National Football League again.
Probably not.
Those days are over.
Yep. I mean, more than likely that doesn't happen again.
Now, to be fair, Ross,
so I'm looking at all the wrong. My priorities are all wrong on it, Trav. When I say Mike Tomlin, I'm looking at the wrong stuff.
Now, to be fair, I think I say that John Harbaugh is the pick of the litter because I'm making the assumption that Mike Tomlin, who is still contractually owned by the Pittsburgh Steelers, isn't in the pool. I'm making the assumption. Okay. Now, I think just based on what I stated about the quarterback, I would still have John Harbaugh as my pick of the litter. But the resume does speak for itself with Mike Tomlin. He's never had a losing record, ever. He's got a Super Bowl title. He knows how to build a culture. It wasn't like, at the end of John Harbaugh's career, where there's smoke, there's fire. You can deny it all you want when they say, hey, the locker room's a little divided. You're not getting along with Lamar Jackson. There's got to be something to it. Mike Tomlin never lost that. You had guys going to bat for him in the post-game press conference saying, if you're even thinking about Mike Tomlin going someplace or getting fired, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But I think Mike Tomlin's going to take a year, maybe 2 years off, get in that TV booth and go, I get to sleep in? I get to make millions of dollars and critique and just give my opinion? I might like this. I mean, when Bill Cowher retired, and he was young when he retired, I'm like, there's no way a coach with that kind of fire is going to just be in the broadcast booth. And now you look at him, he's aged, and you're like, boy, you stuck to your guns, man.
Yeah, he was a fiery dude. Tomlin's very reserved. But so is Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah.
And what's his Kirk? Remember what he told us what he wants to do when he retires? Be an offensive line coach? What?
Volunteering at Iowa City High is former Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. He's coaching the offensive line.
Could you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine it. I can't imagine it. The interesting thing about the Steelers, Bill Cowher was promoted from within the organization. Mike Tomlin was promoted from within the organization. Now, Art Rooney II came out yesterday and said they don't believe there's anybody within the organization that they want to move up at this point. They had asked for, I believe, 4, maybe 5 people to talk to, Ross. John Harbaugh was one of those. He's apparently off the board. The other we are led to believe are defensive coordinators. Bill Cowher was a defensive guy. Mike Tomlin was a defensive guy. So the Steelers still think of going down the mold of a defensive coordinator, defensive coach path. The one thing the Rooneys are going to do with the Steelers, which I don't know if any other organization does, is it's going to be about culture. How do you culturally fit within? Because I don't think you can make an argument that the Steelers have had the best culture in maybe professional sports for the last 50 years.
Say that again. Say that for me one more time.
That the Steelers have had the best culture in professional sport, not football.
You're saying
sports.
You can make that argument that they have.
I think they have. I don't know how you could argue against it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. They're in the conversation. I mean, generations of success. of stability. It's really, really hard at that level. Really hard.
And it goes from ownership to middle management to head coach to players. I think there's a level of expectation.
Speaking of the recruiting from within, I didn't think we'd spend this much time on this. It's kind of fun. Do you know anything about the Mike Tomlin coaching tree?
I don't.
It's funny because it is like notoriously thin. For a guy that's been in the league and had the success that he's had, there's not a lot of coaches that have come from underneath Mike Tomlin and had success in other places, or even really been given that many opportunities. There was one. Bruce Arians.
Okay,
maybe I think was one of them. But other
who
than
went
that,
to the Cardinals, I believe.
Yeah. Other than that, there's just has not been a lot, and that's that's been one of those weird things about Mike Tomlin where people go, "This is odd that he did either." Whatever that is, if he's not developing coaches, if he just happens to bring guys in that are happy with where they are or at that level, we brag on other people's coaching trees. Nick Saban's is insane. His is
Hayden Fry's was insane.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But fair question to ask: should a coach be judged on performance or his coaching tree?
On performance. This is why I am a big Mike Tomlin fan. I think that he is a Hall of Fame coach, and put him in now is my opinion on Mike Tomlin. But this is something like when you brought up the hiring from within, it reminded me, and somebody had sent me that. So credit to Justin or whoever it was that sent me a thing that said, "Hey, Mike Tomlin's coaching tree is kind of like talked about in circles for how weird it is." That he has not produced a lot of great coaching talent for a guy that's had a really good career. Again, Hall of Fame career. And there's just not a lot of success in his wake.
Well, let me correct one thing you said. Not produce a lot of coaching talent, not a lot of head coaching talent. Obviously, when you don't have a losing season, you've got really good coaching talent that are coaching your positions.
Amen. Thank you. I just pulled the Kirk Cousins sucks thing, didn't I? You're right. You're right.
Well, and I would say one place he struggled is offensive coordinator, right? And he's had a number of offensive coordinators. The Steelers' offense, even when they had Roethlisberger, I wouldn't say was tremendous. He was just that good of a quarterback. But the Steelers, and that's why I hear some people going, you need to bring an offensive-minded coach. Listen, defense wins championships. You need to get the right offensive coordinator and be on board with the type of offense you want to run. And the fact that they're looking now at non-head coaches and guys that are defensive coordinators, it'd be interesting to see what that list is.
Wouldn't that be fun?
And you don't forget about the Rooney Rule, which is, and I wouldn't be surprised. Who's the defensive coordinator at Denver? He was Jones. Is it Jones? But he was a head coach before. And sometimes, yes, people get chances even after they failed because it's not necessarily the coach's fault as much as an organization's. So Vance Joseph.
Yeah.
Don't be. I mean, he was rumored for a couple. I mean, I believe the Giants had talked to him. And look what Denver's doing. Denver's got a hell of a defense. Hell of a defense. We'll see if they can stop Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills this weekend. But man,
Vance Joseph was the head coach for the Denver Broncos once already, 2017 and 2018.
And they bring him back to be the D coordinator.
Yeah.
That shows you it doesn't matter where you worked before. Well,
I think it says something about you as and your reputation and.
Yeah, it doesn't mean, hey, you are a head coach. We fired you. You can't step foot in the building again. Oh, you're going to help us win this way? Okay, we'll go along with that. I'm sure it's weird when you're the head coach at one time, you go back to be the defensive coordinator, but check your ego at the door and go, hey, I got a job to do. With the full goal of saying, I want to be a head coach again. And let's not forget, when you look at the Mike Tomlin tree, and I bet if you went to Kirk Ferentz' staff, there's plenty of coaches on that staff that don't want to be head coaches. Because when you get to be a head coach, you know what you don't get to do anymore? Coach. Believe it or not, there are guys.
Good point. Yeah.
You don't get a coach anymore. The college football transfer portal, of course, is an interesting thing. And we saw Dylan Raiola, former Nebraska quarterback, Ross, commit to Oregon earlier this week. And everybody makes the assumption that Dante Moore is going to go to the National Football League. Dante Moore would have been one of the top 2 quarterbacks picked in the National Football League draft. We're talking probably guaranteed $50 million being that high. Mendoza's going to go be the first quarterback. Moore was probably going to be the second. He comes out yesterday and says, hey, I'm returning. This makes the quarterback room a little interesting with Dylan Raiola at Oregon now. But, and if Dylan Raiola goes along with this, I'm going to respect him even more. Now, he's been a jumper. He played at 4 different high schools in 4 different years.
That's great. Nebraska wasn't the first university he was committed to.
No, he was committed to Ohio State, then he was committed to Georgia, then he committed to Nebraska. So he's waffled. He'll earn some respect here if he goes the Dante Moore route. Dante Moore started at Oregon, went to UCLA, came back to Oregon, sat a year because Dylan Gabriel's your quarterback. He took that time to learn, get adjusted, and then take over for Dylan Gabriel, and now says, I'm going to come back and play another year because it's kind of a different quarterback class, and I may improve my stock for next year. Who knows? But if Dylan Raiola really sticks to his commitment at Oregon and sits a year, watches, learns, and then takes over, I'll respect that. And I think if you're Dylan Raiola, you look at the quarterbacks that Oregon has put in the National Football League the last several years.
Yep.
You go, this might be the thing to do. But that's a weird. I mean, I think most people you see Dylan Raiola, you only go to where you're going to start. That's not going to be the case.
Who knows what we were told? Who knows what everybody was told? If Dylan Raiola was not informed, who knows? We'll see.
You got to have those conversations, though, right? Don't you go, hey, there is a chance that Dante Moore is going to come back. Are you willing to do this?
Dylan Raiola is guaranteed absolutely nothing for next year.
No.
Like this thing of like, oh, man, if he sticks around, he learns it. First of all, Dylan Raiola, I think, has been overrated.
I mean, he completed 71% of his pass. He was sacked 54 times.
Travis, hear me out. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying that. I think he's overrated. I think at quarterback, you need a leader. And a kid that has bounced around. He's played at 8 different places in the 8 years available. Come on.
That's fair.
Right? And so that's what I'm saying.
The leadership aspect, I'm going to agree with you 100% on.
And so I think he might be a little bit overrated. And then I think what the other part of this is, get in a year, look how much shit changes in a month. Things change in weeks. You have kids sign contracts and enter the portal. You got guys in the portal playing in games. We don't even know how many teams will be in the playoff. Like things are changing crazy fast. And you're going to sit around and go, all right, a year from now, I get to go under center, right? I don't know, man. Dante Moore is coming back. Dante Moore's a better quarterback than Dylan Raiola.
Well, he got his team to the playoff, absolutely.
I mean, and we watched both those guys. We were all familiar with Dylan Raiola. He's a really good quarterback. I'm not knocking it. Not knocking his talent at all. I just think that it is odd to me that he would go and do this. And if the idea is I'm going to go to Oregon and I'm going to sit for a year, and then I'm gonna play, I'd put money. I'll go to the Kalshi betting markets right now and see what the odds are that Dylan Raiola never takes a snap for Oregon.
Well,
if that's the plan.
If the NCAA gets in the way, you're not going to have that because the NCAA has asked the federal regulators to end all college prediction markets until they become further regulated. And Charlie Baker was okay with Kalshi because they're the biggest ones, right? And so they have things in place, but they're like, there's all these other ones out there that they've gone to the regulators and say, get rid of the prediction markets. Do you agree with that?
No.
I'm all for, but I do want things to be on the up and up. Much like gambling is monitored in sports books, I do want, if you're going to be able to win a significant amount of money on this, and Kalshi goes by, and Kalshi's the biggest, but if there are little rogue ones under there that don't have the places in place, degenerates find it, and they take advantage of it, right? But I'm kind of with you. We're talking prediction markets.
Maybe I'm on. I just found out about these like in the last couple of weeks. So
yeah,
maybe
it was on this show.
Yeah, maybe I'm underestimating the power that they have or the influence they have or something like that. And I'm an observer of it. So maybe I'm underestimating how much stuff is going through there. But come on, can't legislate morality.
Is time travel real? Well, you could probably bet on that on Kalshi.
No, you can't. There's no way to prove it.
No, because nobody's saying.
Because would you tell people?
No. Hey, folks, here in Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn benefits the entire state. It feeds our livestock, nourishes our family, and provides homegrown, clean-burning, unleaded 88 for our vehicles. Pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. When we come back, Bruno's going to jump on with us. Lots of stuff going on with the full court press establishments, especially at Fong's, the Exchange. And don't forget about the Barrel Age Brunch. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Oh, did see you there. Happy New Year for myself and everyone else over here at Land Rover Des Moines. My personal New Year's resolution is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. Come on down for $25 off your service. You can give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Are you on the verge of taking that next big step in your relationship? Our latest collection of engagement rings is here to make your moment even more memorable. From stunning classics to modern designs, each ring is meticulously crafted to symbolize your unique love story. Looking for something truly one of a kind? Explore our custom engagement ring options and let us bring your vision to life. Visit our showroom in Ankeny and let's start creating the ring of your dreams together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Happy New Year from myself and everyone else over here at Willis Volvo. My New Year's resolution this year is to take better care of my car, and that starts with an oil change. You can come on down for $25 off your service. Visit us online at willisvolvocars.com or give us a call to get scheduled.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
515-517-2303 is the number to call. This is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you here on a Thursday. And, of course, Thursdays means we bring in Bruno. Bruno, I don't know where Ross is. He's just out there doing whatever he's doing. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. What's up?
Nothing. How's your week going?
Pretty good. You mentioned that we own the Exchange, and that's a place that went out of business quite a few years ago, but appreciate
Oh, the Empire. Sorry, God, I get it all mixed up. I see. There's our first correction of the day. Justin doesn't have to come on and correct us with that. I apologize for that. It's why is that your mind plays like that? You try to ad-lib something, and you go, oh, it's the Empire, it's the Exchange. I apologize for that.
It happens all the time. When we first opened the Green Mile, the Royal Mile opened, and the Green Mile was in theaters, and everyone, I think it was even in the newspaper, it said the Green Mile.
If whatever, get the address right.
Yeah, no, it happens. That's just how it goes. I've been speaking of things that have been around for a while. I've been working at Fong's. We're putting beer on. Formerly a brewery. We inherited it with 25 handles. And we kind of keep reminding ourselves recently, like, stick to the basics, stick to what's the the common idea, and nothing's more kind of basic and straightforward as beer and pizza. So we're going to introduce pitchers of beer and pizza and have pizza parties and do more of that. We were hanging open signs in the window because we wanted to make sure everyone understood we're open because they're tinted windows or whatever. It just kind of had this kind of look. And I'm like, why don't we just put beer signs in the window? So we put beer signs in the window, and man, it's lit up like a Christmas tree. We've added new lights in there yesterday, and it's always been pretty cool, but it just keeps getting better and better. And now we're rearranging and making a few adjustments as we move forward into the new space after getting on a year coming up. So
let's be honest, nothing says a good pizza joint like beer signs in the window. Right. I mean, when you think pizza, you go, oh, they got pizza and beer, right?
Yeah, and we're not going to get, we get crafty all the time, but we're going to be more straightforward stuff. There'll be some craft beer on, but it'll be more straightforward. Like beer like Old Tavern, beer like Michelob Ultra, beer like Blue Moon, stuff that people know. We're trying to get people, if it sells, we're going to bring it there, because that's we're not the craft. Fong's isn't a craft beer bar. It's a pizza place that has beer, and we want to be able to sell it by the pitcher.
Pizza beer.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, it's all pizza beer.
As long as we can get as low as $14 for a pitcher, which I think is fairly low these days. So,
are there still penny pitcher nights anywhere? Can you go get a penny pitcher anywhere?
I don't do those. Not allowed to.
I don't know. I don't know how you could. That's when beer was under $100 a keg. There's no
Bruno, aren't there laws against like the drink free on your birthday or nickel?
Well, I think the ladies' night thing maybe was, but I don't know. I just think those ideas don't make any sense to run a business. I remember across the Royal Mile, and you'll be surprised to find out this place no longer is open. Back early days of Royal Mile, there's a bar across the street that had $3 for 3 tall boys. They were at that time making 60 cents on that transaction.
Volume, baby.
I know you got to do a lot of volume to make the 60 cents turn into real money. So, and without all the hassle of, 3 16-ounce beers for most people, that's about as much as you need. Everything after that, the next set of $3, that's where the trouble probably started. That's where they're probably like, that's when they're going to order shots, and then that's when they throw up all over the bathroom, or out the front door. I don't know why people do that, but that desperation kind of hurts us sometimes. But then, like when somebody's like, well, they got $3, beers over there. I'm like, yeah, go over there then. That's what I would do if cost is your concern. You can probably get them cheaper at Quick Trip too,
I thought that there was some law against what type of promotions or some city regulation against what you guys are allowed to do as bar owners as far as like promotions. Like when Travis says the penny pitcher thing, I literally thought that was like illegal.
I don't know if it's true because, the thing that I've always confounded the powers that be when I give away stuff. Like, well, you can't. Well, that's what the whole Jimmy Carter happy hour got. Like, they didn't know what to do because we were having homebrew, but we were just giving it away.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then they're
yeah.
well, it was like, hey, you can't just, like you can't. Well, then they're like, you can't have any consideration. So what we were doing is like just tip the home brewer, if you get some free beer. And then they said you can't do that at all. And so then that kind of went away. That sunset. But you know what? It was a good thing at the time. It born out of that idea was I was at Confluence this past week and hung out with John Martin because they were celebrating the 20th anniversary of Des Moines IPA.
Wow.
Because Des Moines IPA first was out in the world at Jimmy Carter Happy Hour at the Bait Shop 20 years ago. Last week. And so that was really cool. I was like, I wasn't quite getting it, but then I read it. It's like Jimmy Carter Happy Hour. I'm like, oh yeah, that there's a big tie between John and I and his brewery opening in some ways. Of course, he did all the work and made it a success, but the start of it, the idea was always fun. The homebrewers and John Martin. And yeah, 20 years. He Confluence turned 14 this year, but the Des Moines IPA has been out available to the people of Des Moines for 20 years now. So.
Bruno, I was thinking about you the other day. I was at the club having dinner, and a nice old lady came up and talked to us, and we're just talking about they used to own a restaurant in Omaha called Johnny's. I don't know if you've ever been to Johnny's. It's an old South Omaha steakhouse. And she's like, I'm from Iowa. I go, where are you from? Because when I hear that, and lo and behold, I'm from Carroll. I'm like, everybody's from Carroll. Yeah, Carroll people either went to Des Moines or they went to Omaha. I mean, everybody's from Carroll.
We used to hang out we used to always go to this Italian place south of the market.
Cassio's.
Yep. Every time. That place was a bomb.
Still
my
open.
Grandfather, what? It's still
open.
Yeah, and then there's a music hall there too. I don't know if that's still was it the Polish American?
Sokol.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then,
it's called something different now because it was purchased, but everybody still calls it Sokol.
Here's the crazy one. My grandfather was hot for going to Tess's.
Joe Tess's fish, where they served carp.
Yeah, they raised carp underneath the restaurant and served it in the restaurant.
When you say underneath the restaurant, like they had like a big
there's a
aquarium
body
in the
of water,
basement,
and they had the fish. They would haul them up and
like farm raised carp. Trav.
It was.
I'd give it a
I
shot.
went there. I finally went there like probably a good 15 years after my grandfather passed away. This was like maybe 10 years ago. It wasn't very good. Tasted a lot like
carp.
Greasy.
It's carp.
It tasted like a lot like greasy breading, and I don't know. It wasn't my thing. I bet you at the time though, when they figured it out, it probably tasted good. I don't know. But Omaha, it was.
Dude, carp is a lot of people like it. I'd give it a shot.
If anything is like, well, it tastes good if you pickle it, like pike and stuff. I'm like, yeah, just stop right there. That sounds disgusting. Like, that's the best way to do it. I'm like, no.
We can pickle that. You guys ever watch Portlandia?
No, I have, but I that all that stuff I can imagine. Yeah. We always went to Omaha as a family. Des Moines confused the hell out of us. Every street you go about 20 blocks and the street names went back down to the number that you were just. It's like I thought we were just here. Like, what's going on? It's like that episode of Kramer. It's like I'm at First and First. Like, how is this even possible?
Now that's Altoona. Altoona, every street's numbered, so it just gets confusing as hell. You got to follow your northeast, southwest.
You roll into Des Moines, and it's depending on which way you go. It's 8th Street or 72nd or
that
100.
The West. Listen, they started to screw things up out west. Des Moines did it right. Des Moines very simple. The river divides the
when
town,
you're in Des Moines, and that's
goes,
where you want to go.
Yeah,
but when you're still, I mean.
You country folk couldn't figure out how to drive through West Des Moines?
No, we just, we did it right over here. And then when towns got to a certain size, we said, oh, we're going to annex you and you're going to adopt our system instead of letting you just have Clive, Windsor Heights.
It is, Bruno, it is very confusing. I mean, like with Audrey right now, when you're driving west and she's like, 22nd is what? 8th is 70. Huh?
Fongs moved from 4th Street to 4th Street.
Yeah, right.
Just East 4th. That's kind of confusing too. When you get like when you hit the river, it goes back up again, which that I suppose is fine. But I remember my sister called us crying when she was in her 20s. She drove in from the west side of Des Moines and she was trying to find where she was going. I can't remember where she wanted to go, but she called. She was nearly in Ankeny.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know where I'm at. How do I get, like we had to like talk. This is like pre Google Maps or whatever. So we had to like talk her on in.
Bruno, I have this memory that flies back every now and again. When I first worked in radio, this is actually my second job in radio was with KJJY. And we had a really cool promotion one time where we gave away tickets to this country concert at the fair. And then somebody from the station was going to pick these people up in our big brand new KJJY Suburban and drive them down there. And it was, drive right up to the gate and all this stuff. Well, I'm the schmuck that's going to go drive out and pick the winners up and drive them downtown. What a special night for them. And they said, get on the freeway, Ross. Because again, this is before Google Maps and all that stuff. Head out towards West Des Moines, get off on 35th Street. And they gave me the directions on how to get there.
That's 100th Street.
I didn't know Valley West Drive was 35th Street. So Travis, when you're driving down 235, it goes 8th Street, 22nd Street, Valley West Drive, 50th. Where's 35th?
Little confusing.
Lot confusing. And yeah, again, in that time, like Bruno's sister, there's nobody that I didn't have a cell phone.
For the 1 out of 1,000 times you might end up in a body of water or completely off where you're supposed to be, Google Maps is pretty awesome to get you where you need to go. Like people
I would agree with that.
Except for those 1 in 1,000 times when you end up in a body of water.
Well, I remember going into Johnston. There's this on 86 that it didn't give you right direction to the one place. I couldn't find it. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're not really on Google very well. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, you need to have the business on the Google Maps. It comes in handy.
Dude from Iowa nails this real quick to put a bow on it. 63rd is also first, which is also Highway 28.
That's the other thing. They're all highways too.
A place that's pretty easy to find is El Bait Shop. You've got the Barrel Age Brunch coming up, and of course those tickets are for sale now. But tables are selling fast, right?
Yeah, you know what? That some people say people aren't drinking beer. I say bullshit. They're drinking beer. It's just not everyone's drinking beer the way they have. But I will tell you, when it comes to something like this, and then we're going to do a lot more of these kind of events this coming year. I meet with Brewer tomorrow or this afternoon. We want to do stuff that's going to be fun. And I think Barrel Age Brunch, Ross and I can both attest that it's probably one of the more fun things we do. And Barrel Age Brunch, tickets are going quickly. Tickets, you can go to the El Bait Shop website. You can go order online, and it's the first thing. It's a tab that says Barrel Age Brunch. You go in and you find your seats. Get a group of people together. They are going fast, and like Travis says, we have sold quite a few, but there are certain tables sizes of 2, 3, and 4 still exist. So there's 2 sessions, one that starts like at 9 to noon, and then the next one is 1 to 4. So get on in.
Bruno, I do know when Frankie went to buy our tickets for our group this year, the morning session was sold out. Now I think we were doing a larger group this year of like 6. So we're doing afternoon session this year. But if you have a group and you were holding on for any reason, get on there right away.
Well, and Friday, or I don't know. Like I said, I was with John the other day. He gave me a 4-pack of Bootlegger's Revenge. It won't be at the event. We have 40 different beers available, but John made this beer, Bootlegger's Revenge, and I'm like, it tastes like liquid chocolate. It's not something you should do all the time, but it's so insanely good. It's so
a treat
good.
yourself beer. It's a treat yourself beer.
Treat yourself.
It is, and it's totally worth it. I think it's amazing. And Travis mentioned the exchange before, the Empire actually. We have 7 new flatbreads. We're just the ever evolving, trying to figure out what the Empire is going to be to the public. These are really good. We're basically the guys at Fong's came up with the flatbread, so the flavors are great. They taste awesome. They're great to share. We have new soup and sandwich specials for $8, new pastries, weekly specials. The Empire is. I'm going there for coffee. I'm going to coffee with David Groves, the head coach of Des Moines Grandview's national championship winning soccer team. The coach of Grandview.
See, I mean,
men's soccer.
I didn't know who replaced Blair when he.
Yeah,
okay.
David Groves. He's a really cool guy. I was mentioned in my favorite soccer team one day at Bartender's Handshake, and this guy turns around and is like, "Those guys suck." And so we started talking, and David and I have been friends, hanging out every now and again over the last 3 years. And we watched, Fong's hosted a watch party, and we watched them win the national championship, and that was super cool. And they also won the football again. They've won 21 national championships. Grandview, what a hell of a school! It's fun to be to work with them, and we're hosting a party for their. The win for both teams winning the national championship here at Buzzer Billy's coming up too.
That's very cool.
So lots of fun. Empire Coffee, Denise Diaz. I can't wait to go down there. I love stopping by. I own a coffee shop now. It's pretty wild. And the coffee is every bit as good as it was. I used to go to Denise's place 2-3 times a month. Now she's right inside of our business. We're talking about how we're going to have it be at the farmers market. Things are coming. I can smell. When it gets warm, I can smell the sales in the air. The people wanting to come out.
Do you do the Irish coffees at the Empire Coffee Shop?
I suppose we do. We sure can. The Royal Mile does.
Is that just a shot of whiskey and coffee?
It's a cube. Well, it's sugar. It should be a cube of sugar. It's Irish whiskey, coffee, cream.
I watch these guys make it on these TikTok videos. I'm like, because they put out like a dozen glasses and they run the coffee out and then they use the spoon. I'm like, you're spilling more coffee than you are anything.
When I was at, in fact, I took pictures of it when I was at, what's the name of the district in Dublin, Ross, the Temple Bar.
Temple Bar district.
I was actually at Temple Bar, and they had a Irish coffee machine.
That's not fair, is it? Do
like
you want to know
when you're doing thousands of them? No,
that's a good point.
They put it under, and like the whole thing just built up. I was like, this is outstanding. But it's not Bailey's and coffee, although that's delicious too.
Reminds me of the Jägermeister machines that were so popular for so long. Remember when every bar you'd go into had a giant Jägermeister? Like Jägermeister had to be handled special. Well, if
wasn't that
cold,
to keep it cold? Well, yeah, I was
because
say, wasn't
it tastes so awful. It had to be 4 degrees.
We still have that poster. You go to the bait shop, we have that poster so smooth, and the guy's making that face. The Royal Mile used to have a machine, and I kept the plaque. They used to have this plaque that said Jägermeister on it, and the spigot came out. And ours, we put on there with that label maker. It said "He Gone," like the old announcer from the White Sox.
Yeah.
He Gone, because it made that sound. And we were selling at our height 18 cases a week at the Royal Mile. Then we had an incident at the Royal Mile where the cops had to come. Somebody tried to break the front window. This is a long story, but at the end of the story, a couple weeks after we had to let a few people go, our cases we started buying about somewhere in the neighborhood of about 3 to 4 cases a week.
Oh, no way.
There was a hemorrhaging of Jägermeister in the Royal Mile. But, these are the things that make the place famous. So
I worked with a guy, one of my favorite people on the planet, a guy named George Davis. He was a coach at East High and North High, and George ran a bunch of concession stands around Central Iowa. There's actually a softball complex over on the east side of town.
Is it the guy that we went to he did the Menace, and he was crawling bullshit on it, and you and I were at the game right on those front tables?
Yes, that guy. That's my buddy George. Great guy. George ran a softball complex, and he had a couple of brothers that ran the complex for him one time. This is the summer I worked for him. And I would help George deliver kegs and candy and stuff like that. And we dropped off a keg at the softball complex on like a Thursday. And then that weekend, it rained Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Sunday afternoon, the pool is open, and I'm helping George out, getting some stuff ready, and his phone rings. And it's the brothers that run the softball complex. Like, hey, George, we want to let you know the keg's blown. Need a new keg over here at the softball complex. There's like, guys, I just replaced that on Thursday. And they're like, yeah, it's gone. He's like, it's been raining for 4 days. We haven't even been open. How's that keg gone? The two brothers had sat there and drank the keg over the course of those. Like, it was a shocking short amount of time. George is like doing the math. He's like, there's no way.
Oh, it's amazing. I just got word the Menace are going to be playing at the MediaCom this year too. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to constantly, like, that's one of the things, loss. Like we didn't sell that much of whatever, but we sure went through a lot of it.
I mean, isn't that how bars go broke fast? Is it just the theft of the alcohol?
Oh, my dad thought for sure that you just don't want to get in the bar business. He's like, he knew a guy that said, if I can't make an extra $100 on the side, why would I even come to work? And just stealing, that could be a whole show someday soon about how all the ideas and ways that I've heard in the industry that people were stealing, and the places almost without fail, every one of them went out of business eventually.
My grandpa owned a bar, and it was a little hole in the wall in Manning, and I look at some of these dingy bars, but it's usually the owners of the bartenders, and they're 24 hours, and if they're going to steal, they're going to steal from themselves, right? They're going to pocket the cash. And
yeah, if you run a place like Brian Cooney did, then you're good. But if you run a place where you have 20 nightclubs, you're getting stole from, that's for sure.
I learned this from watching that bar rescue show. Like the last thing you can have is a bartender who's taking shots with the customers.
That's such a bad idea. That's Wisconsin right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are Wisconsin. Bar dice. How come we don't do bar? How come none of your places do bar dice?
In my Amazon cart or my things saved on my list, I've thought about it. I played dice in Denmark with my Swedish buddies. It's so much fun to play the the game where you like bet if you got better hand or whatever. But then the roll for shots or roll for drinks in Wisconsin, it's gambling. It's illegal in Iowa because we thought about it when we opened.
I didn't think about it being illegal.
That's
but if you
gambling?
can figure out, I don't know, but if you can figure out a way to stay open, you can celebrate your 22nd anniversary like the Hessen House is on Monday. So come on out. What a great way to start the week with a boot. Go have a boot at the Hessen House. The rest of your week will be great.
Das Boot and a fantastic meal. I had one of the most underrated meals. You've been underselling the kitchen out of Hessen House, Bruno. It was meals, so good.
Well, and one of the guys the guy in the kitchen, I think he's been with us for 20. I think he started that place with us 22 years. He worked at Buzzard Billy's before that, and he's been running the kitchen. Yeah, the pork. What's it called? The
Pork
there's
shank?
A little, like a pork shank. It's like a mini.
Oh, it was
pork
it,
roast,
it was
yeah.
unbelievable. Fell apart, Travis. It
It's
was
so
delicious.
Good. You get a little roast, your own little roast.
Good way to put it.
The German name's escaping me right now, but yeah. So get on out. It's great time, and so many things happening, and we're excited. I'm going to go ahead and have coffee with David Groves, the
Tell him we said hello and
national
congratulations.
champion winner. You bet,
Tell him we
you
said
bet.
congratulations, man.
Super cool guy. Super cool.
All right, Bruno. We'll see you next week, bud.
Bye, bud.
See you guys.
Bruno joining us on the Rush Radio Show. Before we get out of here, Ross, I do want to get this. We only got a couple seconds left, but there was a kid in Arizona who scored 100 points in a high school basketball game in 3 quarters. 3 quarters. He scored 70 in the first half, 30 in the third quarter, and they decided to pull him after a 109-25 win.
Oh, my God. 70 in the first half, and the other team only. Hey, where was Justin? I just realized that. Tyler just said, Justin, no call, no show.
I don't, he texted me. He goes, do you want me to come on? I said, or do you want me to skip? I said, no. He goes, you know, I think he interpreted my text wrong. I wanted him on.
He took it as no, don't join us.
Yeah,
I got it.
So,
all right, no worries.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening today. We appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you, make sure to put us on your morning routine on the app. And we'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and it's January and the deals got better. And our lease rates went down. We have a promotional 42-month term, which makes for a great value. On all gas models, we also have 2.99 for 48 months, 3.99 for 60, and 4.99 for 72 months. We've replenished our inventory of RZ this month, and we have 4 in stock. They have 0% up to 72 months, along with $2,000 of bonus cash. Stop in and see us or visit us online at willislexus.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.